Every year, the Friday after Thanksgiving marks the biggest shopping frenzy on the planet. Black Friday. TVs are slashed by 50%. Designer clothes are sold for a fraction of their price. And massive retailers fight to the death to offer the lowest numbers possible. But if you walk into an Apple store on that exact same day, something feels strange. There are no red tags, no buy one get one free banners, and definitely no discounts. The iPhone 15, 16, or whatever the latest model is, costs exactly the same as it did on a random Tuesday in July. Apple is the most profitable tech company in human history. They have more cash in the bank than many countries. Yet, they almost never give discounts. Why? Is it just corporate greed? Or is there a brilliant psychological trap hidden inside their pricing strategy that forces you to believe a $1,000 phone is actually a bargain? The truth is much deeper than you think, and it all starts with a concept called the illusion of luxury. To understand why Apple hates discounts, we first need to understand how traditional companies think. For brands like Samsung, Walmart, or even Nike, discounts are a weapon. If sales are slowing down, you lower the price, clear the inventory, and get fast cash. It's a race to the bottom. But Apple plays a completely different game. They don't see the iPhone as just hardware. They see it as a status symbol. In economics, there's a rare concept known as a Veblen good. Normally, when the price of something goes down, demand goes up. That's basic supply and demand. But with a Veblen good, the rules are inverted. The higher the price, the more people want it, because the price is the product. When you buy a luxury watch, you aren't paying for the mechanism to tell time. You are paying to show the world you can afford it. Apple successfully turned a consumer electronic device into a Veblen good. If Apple started offering 30% off on iPhones every November, two things would happen instantly. First, the perceived value of the iPhone would drop. The brain of the consumer would think, wait, if it's on sale, maybe it's not worth $1,000 after all. Second, it destroys the prestige. If everyone can get a cheap iPhone on Black Friday, the social status of owning one disappears. By keeping the price strictly flat, Apple ensures that your iPhone retains its psychological value long after you buy it. But status is only the surface. The real magic happens when Apple tricks your brain using a tactic called pricing anchoring. Imagine you walk into a store and see a leather jacket for $800. You probably think it's too expensive, but then you look at the tag and it says was $1,400, now $800. Suddenly, your brain lights up. You feel like you are winning. Apple knows this psychology perfectly, but they use it in reverse. They use price anchoring to make their most expensive products look like a smart financial decision. Think about how Apple launches a new iPhone lineup. They don't just show one phone. They show the iPhone base, the iPhone Pro, and the iPhone Pro Max. When they announce the iPhone Pro Max at $1,200, that number becomes the anchor in your mind. It establishes the baseline for what a premium phone costs. Then, they show you the standard iPhone for $800. By comparison, the $800 phone suddenly feels reasonable. It feels like a deal, even though $800 for a smartphone is objectively a massive amount of money. Apple didn't give you a discount. They just manipulated the context so that you discounted it yourself in your head. And this leads to another brutal truth. Apple doesn't need to discount their phones because their retailers aren't allowed to either. If you go to Best Buy, Amazon, or Target, you might occasionally see a tiny discount on a brand new iPhone, maybe $30 or $50. But you'll never see a massive price cut. Why? Because Apple controls its supply chain with an iron fist. When a company like Samsung sells phones to Best Buy, they give the retailer a massive wholesale margin. Best Buy can then decide how much profit they want to sacrifice to make a sale. They can cut the price by $200 because they have the room to do it. Apple doesn't give retailers that room. The profit margins Apple gives to third-party stores are incredibly small. If Amazon tried to sell the latest iPhone with a 15% discount, Amazon would actually be losing money on the sale. Furthermore, Apple uses strict legal agreements called MAP, minimum advertised price. If a retailer cuts the price of an Apple product below what Apple allows, Apple can simply stop supplying them. And no tech retailer can survive without Apple products on their shelves. So, if Apple never drops the price, how do they keep breaking sales records every single year? How do they get millions of people who can't afford a $1,000 phone to buy one anyway? So, why does Apple never give discounts? Because they don't have to. Discounts are for companies desperate for your attention. Apple already has your attention, your data, and your loyalty. By keeping their prices locked, they protect their brand image, force retailers to play by their rules, and use advanced psychology to make you feel like $1,000 is a fair price to enter their ecosystem. The next time you see an Apple store completely packed on Black Friday, with people paying full price while the rest of the mall is on sale, remember this: you aren't paying for a phone. You're paying for the privilege of being part of the most profitable club in the world. And in that club, the price never goes down. If you're enjoying this deep dive into how the world's biggest brands manipulate human psychology, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It takes you 2 seconds, it's completely free, and it helps us create more videos just like this one.